Hi guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome back to Upside Down Books and to a rather spontaneous little unboxing book haul. I'm just back from work, but I have had a big parcel delivery from Amazon of a decent haul of books that I have organized and ordered for myself, and I'm so excited to open this. It feels like it's been a really long time since I've simply just randomly, this sounds, I mean, I know you won't believe me, but it feels like a long time since I've randomly just purchased a bunch of books for myself. I'm sitting at a different angle because I just couldn't be bothered doing my full setup, so enjoy this different angle of my bookshelves. But anyway, I think I have ordered about 8 books. I believe they're all in here, though somewhat suspicious. I mean, you could fit 8 books in here, but it feels light. So I'm curious to see if this is all of them or just some of them. But considering how behind I am on book hauls for you guys, I thought we should do a little spontaneous unboxing and check them all out today so that they don't just add to this very, very long list of books that I need to haul with you. I have my handy dandy scissors, of which I only need 1/2, and let's open this up. Actually, don't Amazon parcels have like a fancy way of opening them? I feel like they have a tab or something. I don't know. The selection of books that's in this is really quite eclectic. This was basically from my wish list of just stuff that had gone on sale and was kind of cheap. Don't even need the scissors. So let's dive in and see what's in here. There's definitely a few books in here. Okay, so the first book I'm seeing is When War Was Here. Now this one is by Roxanne Velezos, and I absolutely adore the cover for this one. I love that it's sort of like photographic mixed with illustration, like the paint splashes on it. It's actually bigger than I thought. I didn't realize it was going to be a C format. I've had my eye on this for a while because it is so beautiful, and like I said, this was just a really random selection across all genres, basically of books that had just gone under $10 on a sale, and I went, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna buy them because I'm an adult and I can do what I want. So When War Was Here is obviously a historical fiction book, and this one is set during World War II. It is set in Hungary, and I'm just really excited to read this. I haven't read anything by Roxanne Velezos before. She does have some other books. Oh, I've got a little fuzzy corner going on. That's okay. I'm sure I'll live. So I don't know if I like her writing. You know, this is going to be a new author for me, but I'm keen to dive in. I've also never read any historical fiction that is set in Hungary, I don't think, during World War II, but I have read in sort of surrounding countries and the kind of stuff that was thematically going on in those countries during World War II. I find it really interesting, so I'm hoping that this will teach me some new things and give me a different perspective and angle of the war that I haven't read before, because it never fails to impress me, and I say this every time, how many different things there are to learn about the wars, even when it feels like the most overdone topic. So this one is following a young single woman, and she is arriving in this city to spend her last summer as a single woman. She's part of an aristocratic family, and she is longing for freedom from her domineering father. She is like organized to be married, or there are upcoming nuptials with this Red Cross doctor. It says she greatly admires him, so I'm unsure whether this is an arranged marriage or a love match. But then she meets someone else, and he is a Romani artist, so I can already feel the tragedy that's going to happen, surely. And they get separated, it says by a brutal act of hatred, so I want to take a punt and say that this new lad, Alejandro, is probably going to end up in a concentration camp. Who knows? Very curious to see where this goes, but I feel like this has a real Fiona McIntosh vibe to it. Bit of romance, bit of drama, a lot of history. Let's see what else we have in this big box. The next one is Echoes and Empires. This is a nice glossy, YA witchy, vampire-y magic story. I can't remember. This one, oh, this is Morgan Rhodes. I feel like I completely forgot when I ordered this that this is a Morgan Rhodes book. I've been meaning to read more of her books since the Fallen Kingdom series. I've read books 1 and 2, and then they sort of changed format and I haven't been able to get the rest of the series matching. So that's on hold, but I loved it and I'm really excited to read more of her stuff. This one is centered around magic, and it starts by saying that the main character knows 3 things about magic, and that is that it's rare, it's illegal, and that it's always deadly. The main character gets caught up in a robbery that goes wrong, and she becomes infected by a piece of dangerous magic. I love that you can be infected by magic, that's so cool. What it does is that it allows her to step into the memories of an infamous warlock, which means that she is living her worst nightmare. Basically, she's now on a quest to try and remove the magic from her before it like destroys her soul and kills her. Except for obviously the complicated thing that it's illegal, so by saying that she's got magic to try and find help, she may just be signing her own death warrant anyway. So there's going to be a bit of tension going on, and I'm going to say there's probably going to be a bad boy who's going to help her out and they'll be an enemies to lovers, or something like that. Oh yes, on the blurb it does say, and infuriatingly handsome, and Jericho, I believe, is the guy that's going to come in and help. I'm just really excited. I really enjoyed Morgan Rhodes' writing style, and I have great expectations for this one, so fingers crossed it lives up to expectations. Next! Ooh, The Book of Last Letters, another historical fiction. I feel like I have such a massive hoard of historical fiction set in the wars. Despite the fact that I read so much fantasy, I do not have an even balance with reading historical fiction, but I have great aspirations to. This one is set in London during World War II, and I've just been really taken by the cover. It's like so same as many other covers. I'm aware that I'm just buying the stereotype at this point, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. There's just something about it that I like. I'm a sucker for good covers. So this one is following a nurse called Elsie, and it says that she is offering to send a reassuring letter to the family of a patient, and then she has an idea and she begins this book of last letters, messages that can be sent to wounded soldiers' loved ones should the very worst come to pass, so that no one's left without a final goodbye. I feel like this is going to end up in a bit of an English patient sort of nurse-patient romance maybe going on. It's going to be very tragic. Definitely looking forward to this one, and just sort of enjoying the atmosphere. It does flip between 1940 and the present day, so dual perspective, very curious to see how that's going to be relevant, so looking forward to seeing what this holds within its pages. Right. This definitely has all of them, I believe. Yes, there are 8 books in here. So the next one is hardback. Did I know I ordered a hardback? That is Mademoiselle Revolution. I feel like I had no idea I ordered a hardback. This is actually not in terrible condition. I wonder why it was so cheap. Look at that, it's a lovely blue underneath. So this one says, as two nations fight for their futures, she fights for her destiny. It is set in Paris in 1791. Not World War II, would you believe? But during the French Revolution, so I mean it's the next best thing. Or I think that's near the French Revolution. I'm going to read you the very opening bit of the blurb. It says, a powerful, engrossing story of a biracial heiress who escapes to Paris when the Haitian Revolution, there we go, a different revolution, burns across her island home, but as she works her way into the inner circle of the Robespierre? I've never heard of that. And his mistress, that must be a person then. Is that a person? Robespierre? She learns that not even oceans can stop the flames of revolution. I literally can't remember when the French Revolution is. I am really interested in this one, now that I have reminded myself of the blurb and what is in this. I believe what originally caught my eye about Mademoiselle Revolution is that it's got this added element of something a little bit different. So the Haitian Revolution, something I know literally nothing about. So I'm just absolutely all there for learning more about history through historical fiction. I love that we are going to travel from Haiti into Paris during this era. This is just so many settings and places to see and learn about. I'm hoping that this is going to be a brilliant time. The next one in here is nice and thick. Oh, that's right. I'd literally forgotten half the things I got. So the next one I have to show you is Laura Sebastian's Castles in Their Bones. I have been so intrigued by this one since its release, and this is still the nice tall and big edition. I haven't honestly heard very much about it, so I don't really know what to expect. It is a YA or a new adult novel, and do I know much about it? Not really, but I've just been really keen to read it because it's been everywhere. The tagline on this one is never trust a pretty face. Maybe this is going to give us like the Bells sort of vibe. This one follows a character who is called Empress Margaret, and she has plans for her daughters since the day that they were born. Princesses Sophronia, Daphne, and Beatrice, all spelt kind of strangely, will be queens, and now, age 16, they must each leave their homeland to marry their princes. Actually, do you know what this sounds like? This sounds like kind of a version of the Great TV show, so I am now going to be comparing it to that, and my standards and expectations are very high. I hope that this is really good. I hope it's going to be funny and energetic, and presumably someone is going to try and run away. Oh, and look, there is like a family tree at that very opening of it as well. I do love a good family tree. And a map. We really are spoiled. This is what the map looks like. So many exciting things going on in this book. The next book is Raw, and I have honest to goodness had this on a list to buy or get or read for so many years. When did this even come out? Feels like it's been 100 years. 2017. That's 6 years. That's a long time. I have not read anything by Cora Cormack yet, but I feel like I may own something by her. Either that or this has really just been on my list for a very long time. I am so excited to dive into it and find out more. This is set in like the smallest font though, so I can already feel the eye strain coming on. It is clearly a YA novel, and the tagline says, says, challenge a tempest, survive it, and you become its master. Really don't know what that means. There is magic, there is a kingdom, and the character is the sole heir of that kingdom. Like, there's so many elements that are adding up here for a good time. She's been groomed to be the perfect queen, she's intelligent, she's brave, she's honorable, but her magic is not showing, and she's yet to show a trace of it. Very sad. I think this is literally all about them trying to cover up the fact that her magic like hasn't come out yet and she hasn't displayed it, and I would assume that the title of having the crown would be at risk by the fact that she doesn't seem to show any magic, and they're going to try and hide that up. I don't know. She appears to be wearing quite a lot of daggers strapped to her back on the front here, so I am hoping that there's going to be a lot of stabbiness. Maybe someone's going to die, they're going to run away. Oh, there's a disguise going on, sneaking out, a spy, black markets, stolen magic. This sounds excellent. I am so excited to read it. 2 left to go. The next one is The Verdigreed Pawn. Now, I am so keen to read this one because this has also been on my hit list for a while. I've been really toying about whether I should do the audiobook or whether I should just read the physical book, and it went on sale, so I was like, I am sold. Please pass me a copy. This one is about a boy, a girl, and a land. That is like the tagline. A boy who doesn't know his power, a girl with a gift long thought lost, and a land ready for revolution. I think we can say there's probably a little bit of a theme here when it comes to the kind of YA fantasy novels I like, and look, there's nothing wrong with the same themes going on. I'm enjoying it. I honestly feel like that sums up so much about what is going to be in here. Is it going to be overly unique? I don't know. I feel like there's going to be manipulation games going on, a bit of angsty romance, some political intrigue going on, and these are all the things I love to see in my YA novels. The boy is the heir to the land, and he is just like not the strong, intimidating, magnificent man that he should be. He's probably a disappointment to his father, and so he's literally the opposite of everything. And I think that is where the title comes from, because he is described as just another pawn in his father's quest for ultimate power. And then of course he meets a girl who shows her all of the secrets that his father has kept hidden from him and reveals just how brutal and merciless his rule has been. Of course this leads to them questioning, well, him questioning everything, and presumably they're going to go on their own mission and either run away or take over the kingdom. I don't know, but I can't wait to start reading this and find out. So that brings me to the last book that is in this box, and this one is Princess of Thorns. My gosh, I forgot that it was this one. This again has been on my list for a very, very long time, and this is deeply satisfying to finally have a copy and find out what all the fuss is about. I've had so many good friends who have recommended this and like just really pushed the point that this is something I should read because I'm probably going to absolutely love it, and it's just taken me a long time to get here because I am never in the positive on my book buying capacity, so I'm just forever not buying. So anyway, this was a good time to break the buying ban. So Princess of Thorns is by Stacey J. It's an author I haven't read before. Came out in 2014, and I swear this has been on my radar since then. This honestly, I started really reading books in 2013, so this kind of feels like this has been haunting me for a really long time. Has a lovely map at the beginning as well. It is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. It's about a character whose mother was sacrificed to give her daughter powers. It's really interesting though, because it says, once upon a time there lived a princess. It's been 10 years since Princess Aurora's mother, the Sleeping Beauty, sacrificed her life to give her daughter magical powers, but Aurora knows that magic is never free, and the price for her magic is that she will never know romantic love. That feels really harsh considering the price already feels like it was her mother dying, but nevertheless, very high price to pay. Then of course there is a prince as well, and that is Prince Niklas. That's spelled Niklas, just in case you were wondering. And he's living on borrowed time. Unless he's able to convince the princess to marry him before his 18th birthday, he will meet the same terrible fate as his 10 older brothers. What happened to his 10 older brothers? Will they find their happily ever after? When Niklas and Aurora meet under unusual circumstances, they must race to prevent the fulfillment of an ogre prophecy foretelling the end of human life. But will they be able to break their curses? I would really like to know what happened to Nicholas's other brothers, because this is very intriguing. I am sold, and this just sounds beautiful and tropey and very much so a product of its era of 10 years ago in the YA fantasy realm, and I am so there for it. Sometimes you just need a good old tropey young adult fantasy novel. I'm so excited. Okay, so these are all the books that I very naughtily purchased and will be adding to my shelves. I hope you enjoyed that haul. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these or if any of them are on your TBR, but other than that, I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Alla gloria militar